Hello, friends. How are ya? Long time no tarot, right? Wow, I've been sitting here just wanting to get started and dive into this stuff, and I can't. It's just a big, huge mess. It's so messy. Look at, I have salts and herbs on here because I took out the old deck here from last year with the giant end of the presidency eclipse back on January 21st, and we are like hitting all of that right now. Ugh. So anyway, nice to see all of you. Welcome new subscribers. I know I've been away for a while. I think this is the longest I've been away. We were out of town. Had a really great visit. It's just amazing to just step away from this stuff and just have my vibe just totally go to a different place and be in a total different area of presence. But I do have to say, I think that absolutely has a lot to do with the eclipses we had, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, all that stuff that's going on. It is definitely playing out in so many ways. And you know what? Anytime I was wanting to like check in the news to see what's happening, I just felt like it was almost a foreign language. I couldn't get what was going on. Stuff just not making sense to me. Just the news just doesn't make sense. No wonder it drives people crazy, you know? So, I was thinking, you know, and I spent the the third quarter moon, which was on Friday in Washington, D.C. at 7:59 a.m. I totally missed that. I didn't get to look at the chart. So I really feel like I don't have my bearings with what's going on. And I just feel like because we're still in a lot of eclipse energy, we're still in the Saturn-Pluto conjunction thing, and we're hitting eclipse energy from last January and from last July. Everything just feels like we're engulfed in so many different things and events that it's impossible to connect the dots. Well, it is impossible to connect the dots because the Saturn-Pluto conjunction declared a new order of structure and power and government. Capricorn rules governments. So that's kind of what this nebulous, everything all over the place. It just feels like everything kind of got tossed in the air, and we're supposed to like stay grounded and stay connected and keep all these moving pieces moving together. Well, they're not, because everything has literally like been tossed into the air. And so I just started listening to Adam Schiff with his opening remarks, and that I could follow, and then all of a sudden Jay Sekulow came on, and I was like, mute. No idea what you're talking about. And so that's when I started trying to organize my thoughts for you guys regarding what's going on. And the only thing I can think of is let's just get back to this lunation to see what's going on so we can kind of get our bearings straight, okay? So, yeah, and I even have bentonite clay in here. Sprayed some sandalwood water. A nice mix of stuff here. I just want to play in it. Oh yeah, and you guys, my third eye, my psychic sense, the way I pick up energy, totally changed. So I feel like I'm also blindfolded as we go through this. But let's pick up on this third quarter moon that was on Friday. It's really messy. Look at this is what we call a T-square. It's where you have an opposition, and then, which is 180 degrees. These things are opposite one another. They don't work with each other. You have to pick one or the other. And then at the midpoint, which is 90 degrees, you have all these things squaring and square to the top and bottom of that opposition. And it's called a T-square. This is a really hard T-square because the things that are squaring the moon, which is at 26 degrees Libra in the 8th house, in this area that has to do with money, taxes, other people's money, life and death. And Libra is there, justice and things related to money. It's in square to Saturn, Pluto, the asteroid series, which is how we nurture ourselves, and the sun, and Mercury. And not only is it in a T-square to all of this, it's in the area that has to do with secrets, hidden enemies, retreat, respite, healing. I don't think they're healing anything. I see this as powerhouse planets, like the administration, because remember the sun represents the leader of a nation in a horoscope. These are all those yahoos working behind the scenes on a secret ideas. On top of it, remember around Christmas when there were the attacks on the U.S. Embassy in Iraq and then the strikes with Iran? And I said I had felt blinded for a long time. I couldn't see what was going on. I'm kind of feeling that way now. I can't get the veil to lift. Like sometimes I can kind of get it to lift and I just see like different things and then it falls down again. But there's definitely a lot of work going on behind the scenes. And so the sun representing Photis is in the 12th house here that has to do with secrets, hidden enemies. And then the moon that it was in square to is over here in the area having to do with taxes, money, life, and death. And then the bottom part of this, where we have the planet Uranus, which has to do with surprises, shakeups, unexpected events. It's related to earthquakes. Big storms, frigid air. Now that's in this area that has to do with communication, social media, electronics, publications, contracts, early learning, how we talk and communicate and think and reason. So they are really trying to get a handle on the communication area and the moneyed area. And there's so much tension here. That's what they're working on so diligently. Something I want to show you with the people who drew their cards for this. This is very interesting. Now remember, this side of the chart over here, the ascendant, this is at 5 degrees Aquarius. We will have our new moon at 4 degrees Aquarius. So right now the moon started over here and it's been traveling over in this part of the horoscope since last Friday. And actually the moon, this area is the 11th house. This is Schiff with his opening statements happened here in this sector, which has to do with hopes, wishes, humanity, humanitarian efforts, friendships, innovation. So that's where we're focused as these opening arguments start. But right now, the thing giving life to the chart, the ascendant, that's what breathes life into this for the entire week. I thought this was very interesting. Donald had the Page of Swords, you know, the spy, fighting back. Guess who had the Six of Pentacles? You know, the Six of Pentacles. I should probably find these. Look at these grody cards. The Six of Pentacles, you know, having to do, it's basically bribes, money laundering, kickbacks, money that's been converted to crypto. The thing giving these people life is the Six of Pentacles. The bribes and the kickbacks are Stub, MBS, you know, from Saudi Arabia, Lev Parnas, Mitch, Eric Prince, all of them. This whole thing leading up to the impeachment, this is where their focus was. Bill Barr was all about had the two swords, you know, dividing the electorate, dividing, I think, like the law from the president, or forcing people to make choices. There you go. This or that. Speaker Pelosi, what was giving her life this week was the Knight of Wands, you know, someone taking action. Adam Schiff, the Seven Pentacles, that to me has to do with the articles of impeachment. Jerry Nadler has the Six of Wands. It has to do with, the Six Wands mob. He's focused on Trump, Putin, Xi, Netanyahu, MBS, Erdogan, all them. And then Maxine Waters had the Five of Cups. Now we know the Five of Cups is disappointment, but we also know it represents China and Russia, and how the Republican Party and China and Russia work together to hang on to the office of the President of the United States. Our intel agencies on the ascendant, what's giving them life this week is the Fool, the indicted president. The FBI has the Ace of Wands, so there's a plan that they're taking action on. The Southern District of New York, Ace of Pentacles. They're focused on new money during this lunation. And the Eastern District of Virginia, the Nine of Pentacles, which has to do with oligarchs and their money. Sometimes it represents Ivanka or Mo. The United States, for this week, they had the Three of Wands. I found that very interesting. Like they're set out there, have an idea that's progressing. We're getting somewhere. And I think it's related to impeachment. The Divine Feminine had the Wheel of Fortune. So the Divine Feminine is working on opportunities with timing while we're in this, engulfed in this which way is up environment. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction, that is working on the Ten of Pentacles, which that's the dynasty card that it refers to the Trump family. So the Saturn-Pluto conjunction is really drilling down on them. I'm not surprised because it's exactly opposite. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction right here is exactly opposite Donald's natal Saturn, which is how he guards all of his money. And impeachment as a form of idea and concept is working on the Tower. So and I wouldn't say it's working on the Tower. Impeachment is having a Tower moment. There's a lot of aggression we know now behind the scenes. So that was, those things I described to you, we're giving all those areas their focus for this week. Now, like I said, this moon has, now that we are in impeachment opening remarks territory, this is what I want to focus on right here. Okay, I want to figure out what these guys are talking about. We're going to start with this cluster 4 of red over here. I'm going to get these cards ready and then I'll come back, okay?